I'm sick and tired of the notebook industry telling me what I can and can't write on, so I'm going to learn to make my own perfect notebook, and I'm going to start by making these. I started by picking out my paper and cutting it down to size, but you can see that I immediately made a mistake and cut it the wrong size because I don't know how to use my cutting mat. So then I started picking out which color I wanted to use for which decorative paper, and the decorative paper will become the cover for the notebook. And I don't have a book press or anything, but luckily the person who owned my house before me left some big IKEA shelves that I realized would make a really good press. And so I just kind of set that up. Now it's time to start gluing things together, and I glued the cardstock onto the decorative paper. And once I glued everything, I pressed it for a while and then started cutting out all of the covers so that they were all at least some kind of uniform size. Then I started putting in the signatures or the paper that I'm going to be able to write on. Now, since this is just a test, I didn't put a lot of paper, but I put a lot of different kinds of paper and tried some different printing techniques to see what would work best. And so each notebook is a little bit different in the way that it's constructed and the way that the paper is designed. And then I folded everything up nice and evenly, and then I started punching some holes so that I could sew them all together. I decided to go with a sewn binding instead of a staple just because I wanted to be a little bit fancier and kind of a more premium looking notebook. Even though with a notebook this size, you could totally get away with just staples. I actually already made some notebooks with staples, but I just really wanted to put in the extra effort of sewing it all together. After I sewed it together, I went ahead and cut everything down and trimmed it all so I would get some nice clean edges all the way around. Ooh, look at that. That's really nice. And I also really like rounded corners, so I just decided to go ahead and round all the corners on that so it would look nice and not catch on my pocket or get frayed and bent. And rounded corners are superior, and you can't convince me otherwise. And here's the finished product. So these turned out okay. Some of them turned out pretty good. Some of them have some pretty big imperfections like that brown one. But let me know in the comments which one your favorite and follow for more.